Today I'm replacing the front struts in this 2015 Jeep Cherokee. This should be the same procedure for 2014 through 2019, and I just have the strut assembly. I do not have the complete assemblies, meaning I don't have the bellows, the mount, and the spring, as you can see some of that on this one. I would generally recommend replacing all of that. You can get the Monroe quick struts that come complete as complete assemblies, and that makes it a lot easier. I'm going to be covering this as though you have the complete strut assembly. It's a little bit more complicated. I just made the other video about the back, so if you're doing both of them, maybe you watch that other video. The back, the shocks, very easy. The front, a little bit more complicated. We got to take quite a bit of stuff apart, but I skip a lot of things that other videos and the book says to do. I'm not going to be touching the brakes. I'm not going to be taking apart the outer tie rod end or taking it off the knuckle. I'm going to leave as much stuff together as I can, but there's a couple key things that we need to watch while we're doing it. So let's get into it and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. So the very first thing that I did is I sprayed some penetrating oil on the sway bar end link nut and threaded rod right there at the top, because that needs to come out of the strut assembly. And then I did the same thing on the ball joint nut on the bottom, the lower ball joint, the nut that holds it on. I've hit those threads with some penetrating oil also. And then I hit the base of the strut here where it goes into the aluminum knuckle, also with penetrating oil, all the way around and back and everything. So since I've done that, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work the brake hose and the ABS wire off of the strut here. And that's a pretty easy task. And in fact, while we're doing it, we're gonna pop it off of there. We wanna get as much slack as we can. So we're just gonna work that out of there. A little pry tool we're gonna use to get that out of there. All right, so we're gonna get this sway bar end link detached. So I've got my impact in a 15 millimeter. We're gonna hit it for a second, break it free. Then we're gonna come back with a ratcheting box wrench here. It doesn't have to be ratcheting. Mine in this case it's in reverse. And then we've got a 5 millimeter Allen bit that we're gonna put into that rod, the threaded rod coming out of the end link, and we're gonna put the impact in forward, and we're gonna run it. And you can see it was good I put that penetrating oil on there, because that didn't even give us a fight. That came right out. Move on to this pinch bolt at the back of the knuckle, and on this side we've got an 18 millimeter nut. On the front side, the bolt itself is an E14 external torque. All right, that did not fight us too much there. Now we're going to move on to the axle nut. It's a 36 millimeter. Because I'm using an impact, I can just hammer away at it and it's going to zip it right off. If we were not using an impact, we'd want to put a punch in the center of the brake rotor here so that it catches with the caliper bracket, so that when we go to crank this loose, it just jams it in there and holds everything stationary. We don't need to worry about that since we're using an impact. Next, I'm going to take an 18 millimeter socket and loosen up the lower ball joint nut. So there's a couple different ways that you can break this lower ball joint free. I'm going to show you the way that doesn't require this special tool that's kind of a fork that goes over it and a bar that comes under it and presses on it. It's not a bad way to go, but if you don't have that tool around, then it's not going to help you too much. So I'm going to show you the way to do it without that tool. So, of course, I'm up on a lift, but if you're doing this on the ground, which this job is very easy to do on the ground, you will, of course, have jack stands under the vehicle, and you can just take your floor jack and do what I'm going to do with the floor jack. So we're going to put some pressure on the ball joint stud here. In fact, we'll clock it like that. We don't need to go too crazy with it, but we want to get a little bit of pressure on it. And then I'm going to turn this assembly just so I can get a little bit better access with a hammer. And I'm gonna hit this side, or the other side, but I'm gonna hit right about here on the other side of the lower control arm here. And a couple good hits usually break this free, and you'll see the control arm just pop down here. So now what we're gonna do is we should have this whole assembly free. Everything's loose. So the goal here is to swing this out of the way so that we can drop it down and slide it off of the strut assembly. So the first thing I need to do is get a pry bar in here and push down on the lower control arm so that I can swing the ball joint out from being captured there. Now I can grab the whole assembly, and you can see this CV shaft is coming right out. That's good. And the whole assembly is falling right off. That's also good. Sometimes these things are a big fight, and this thing is literally falling off in my lap. So I'm gonna grab my jack stand here, my tall jack stand. Now we've got this position great where there's absolutely no stress on the brake hose, no stress on the ABS wire, and now this is free to drop out. So here we are under the hood. I don't know that we actually have to remove this, but we're gonna pop this cap off. We'll set that aside. Now, the only thing retaining this strut assembly is this plastic ring, and we do have a new one. I'll put links in the description for all the torque specs and all the parts I used. This is two halves that snap together. So we're just gonna pry on it. It's a little goofy, but we've got a new one. I would recommend new ones. I would not recommend trying to reuse these just because you'll probably break them on the way out. So we're just gonna kind of go at it and twist it around a little bit and probably snap some of the plastic parts off of it, but we'll get it out. Actually, I don't think I've broken anything yet, but I have successfully disconnected one end of it. So I'm gonna reach underneath here because I've got the thing hanging here and it's just me. So we'll pop that off and then I can extract the strut right out the bottom. I've got everything swapped over here from the old one to the new one, which there again, I'm not covering that because I would recommend just buying the complete assembly. All that went good, but I did test fit this and I've noticed a problem. So on the old one, there's this tab that is kind of the keyed tab that helps you align it into the knuckle. And on the new one, it's got the same tab, except it is a lot longer. And the problem is the bolt that goes through, the pinch bolt, doesn't actually go through that hole, it goes through above it. And this hole pretty accurately lines up with that hole, and the bolt would need to go through right here. And so this is in the way. So there's two options here. One of them is that we could try and drill a hole where it needs to go, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually just gonna cut part of this off, and we'll still leave enough. The knuckle comes all the way up to this bracket. So if I go down about an inch from that, the tab will still align it like it's supposed to, but we'll have cut out the section that's gonna be in the way. And this actually is not attached to the strut body anywhere down here. So if I cut it right here, we'll still get the alignment and this tab will just come right off. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna cut that off. I don't know how much of a problem this is gonna be and if they're all like this or if this is kind of an anomaly, but figured I'd mention it since it's a real world problem I am seeing right in front of me. So here's our retaining clip that we're gonna snap in at the top of the strut to hold it in the chassis. So I'm gonna reach down below here. This certainly would be easier with two people, but it is definitely manageable with one. And then I'm gonna take these two halves and just snap them together. So that was one-handed. I think I got it. Yep, it looks like we're tight on both sides. The strut's not gonna fall out or anything. And then we'll just simply put our cap back on and that is it. This is probably about the easiest way to put them in. I actually don't love it because it doesn't seem very secure to me, but that's what it is and there's how you do it. Okay, so now we're gonna begin the battle of sliding the knuckle over the strut assembly here. Sometimes this goes really good. It came apart really good. We'll see how it goes together again. Again, we wanna make sure that we don't yank on any of these wires or anything. If there's any doubt about it, you can of course take them out, but this is the quick, easy way of doing it. You just have to be a little careful and use a little bit of finesse. I don't know if finesse and doing this part go hand in hand, but we're gonna see what happens here. So I've got it started, but it is not just freely moving up. So that's all right. I'm gonna grab the jack stand. You can grab a floor jack. And I'm gonna put a little bit of force on the brake rotor. I'm not gonna hit the backing shield because we don't want to bend that. But I should be able to lift up on the rotor. I can see it starting to slide a little bit. We'll lift up a little bit more here. So we still have about 2 inches to go. More of a fight than I'm used to on this, but it's getting there. So we're not quite all the way up. We've got another ½ inch or so to go, but that's good enough for now. I can start getting the rest of this stuff together, and I'm gonna start by putting the CV shaft back to the hub, and then we're gonna get the lower ball joint lined up and get that going together. And then we can just get everything positioned correctly and all tightened down. Okay, now that I've got all that stuff together, I'm going to tighten down the lower ball joint, and then I will put some force up underneath to close up that gap. For this lower ball joint, I'm going to start by running it most of the way up with an impact. Then we're going to torque it to 22 foot-pounds, and then an additional 95 degrees. Next, I'm going to tighten the axle nut. Now I'm going to put the jack stand under the control arm right next to the ball joint, and I'm going to crank it up and put some pressure on it. And the strut just popped right in. If we go up top, you can see there's no longer a gap. So I'm going to put the pinch bolt in and tighten that down right now while it's in place. So again, we have an E14 external Torx we're going to put on the bolt side, and an 18mm socket we're going to put on the nut side, and this torques down to 77 foot-pounds. Next, I'm going to pop the brake hose back in to the bracket on the strut assembly, and then I'm going to pop this wire back in there, that boot in there, and the boot back on the clamp on the chassis side. And now the last thing to do here is tighten down the sway bar end link nut. So I'm going to do the same trick here. I'm going to put the 15mm wrench on this thing. I'm going to put the 5mm Allen bit inside of it. The wrench is in forward, the drill or the impact is in reverse. We'll run it down lightly, and then I'm going to torque this down to 22 foot-pounds. I'm going to punch this nut into these notches. Now I'm going to reinstall the wheel. I'm going to snug all of these down. Then we're going to drop it down and torque them to 100 foot-pounds. So there you go. I've already done the other side. Of course, you should always do a pair of them together, the front together, the rear together. In this case, I have the other video covering the rear and this video covering the front, but I did all four in one shot. But we've got everything back together again. We got everything torqued down, and now I can take it out for a test drive. There isn't anything inherently that messed with the alignment with what we just did here, but it would always be a smart decision to go and get an alignment done after having replaced some major suspension components. So thank you for watching.